on 1.3, page 15 in your book. Key vocabulary, verbal model, rate, and unit rate. It's a 12 o'clock whistle going off. So we got some vocabulary to go over. Here's the, we'll start here, maybe. All right, verbal model. Verbal model, and I'm kind of looking on page 15 for the words. It's sometimes they have them highlighted pretty good. Verbal model is actually over on page 16, about a third of the way down. It basically describes a situation. It uses words. So instead of numbers and symbols and different things, it uses words to describe a situation. That's a verbal model. So we're going to be taking verbal models today and rewriting them and taking the words and putting them into symbols. So that's a verbal model. Then over at the top of page 17 is a rate, and a rate is a fraction that compares two quantities measured in different units. Now that's like this, 55 miles in 1 hour. That's a rate, and we're used to seeing it written this way, miles per hour. That would be a rate. How fast you can say that I can run that race in so many meters per second, or I can swim however fast. That's your rate. Okay, a unit rate then is when you have a rate and the bottom number is a 1, a unit rate. Back here. The unit rate would be, this would be a unit rate because it has a 1 on the bottom. Okay, so a unit rate is a rate with a 1 in the denominator. And a unit rate is used like if you go to the store and you want to know how much it is per, how much something is per ounce, or how much it is per bottle. That's where the unit rate comes in. A lot of times I will look at, if you go by Gatorade, like this summer I found you can buy a pack of Powerade for $3.98. $3.98 for 8 of them. Boy, sorry, my pin's not working. $3.98 for 8 bottles, and that would be a rate. Sorry, pin is not working worth a darn. $3.98 for 8. But if I want to know the unit rate, I would want to know what it is for just one of them. So I would divide how many times does 8 go into $3.98 to see how much it is for one bottle. And I don't know what that is. Let's see if that's a good deal or not. $3.98 divided by 8. I'm going to decimal up. That goes in there 4 times, which is 32. That'd be 78. That goes in there 9 times, which is 72. It's going to be a 6, add a 0, bring it down about 7. So those end up to be about 50 cents each. So I know that I've been buying those, like my husband and my son will go to the golf course and it costs $2 for a Gatorade. Well, that's a kind of a better deal there, so as long as I have those at home. So there's unit rate. So let's see what we're going to do in this one. Example number 1 has us translating verbal phrases into expressions. So verbal phrases, taking the words and writing them into using numbers and symbols. So one thing about these, it's really hard. I think this is really hard to do. You think you're doing them totally right and you can miss every single one of them. So first I'm going to read it. For less than. So you have some vocabulary here that you have to remember what these numbers mean, or these words mean. And if you look on page 15 in your book, above example number 1, there is a box that gives you words that mean addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So I want you to take a look at that box and, you know, just kind of review. Look at that. Addition, sum, plus, total, more than, increased by. Subtraction says difference, less than, minus, decreased by. So those are some words that, you know, you're probably familiar with, but you need to really, so we know less than, so we know that's going to subtract quantity 6 times a number n. Well, I know how to write 6 times a number n, which would be 6n, and it's 4 less than that, so you would minus 4. It wouldn't be 4 minus 6n. You have to be really careful in subtraction. Order makes a difference. So let's see what they, 6n minus 4, less than it. So like I said, they're tricky. So 3 times the sum of 7 and a number. So we need to take 3 times the sum of 7 and a number y. Well, 7 and a number y would be written 7 plus y, and I need to take 3 times that whole thing, so I need to put parentheses around it. And these are just, sometimes you just have to do a whole bunch of them and learn from your mistakes. See? The difference of 22 and the square of a number m. Well, whenever difference is used, you just write it in the order that it's given. It's a subtraction problem. So that's first. So you would do 22 minus, 22 minus m squared. There it is. Okay, so our guided practice, translate the phrase, the quotient, when the quantity 10 plus a number x is divided by 2. So quotient means divide, and I want you to use division. When you see quotient, we're just going to have a fraction. Numerator, the first part is the numerator, the quantity 10 plus a number x, so 10 plus x is divided by 2. And they might write it like this. Sorry, 10 plus x divided by 2. Sorry, that's terrible, but my pen just isn't cooperating. Oh, and they did the way I did with the division that way. All right, example 2, write an expression, cutting a ribbon. A piece of ribbon L feet long is cut from a ribbon 8 feet long. Write an expression for the length in feet of the remaining piece. So, is cut from a piece of ribbon L feet long is cut from a ribbon 8 feet long. So, it says in the example, let's see what they do here. They draw a diagram to help us. It says, suppose the piece that is cut is 2 feet long. So suppose the piece of cut is L feet long. So if it's 2 feet long, it would be 8, because the whole thing is 8 minus 2. So since it's L, we don't know how long that is. It would be 8 minus L. So it says the remaining piece is 8 minus 2 feet long. That's for that picture right there. And this would be from this. So we're this one goes with this, and this one goes with this. Okay, we don't know how many feet is cut from that piece of ribbon, so we know it was taken off if it's cut off. So that's why it's 8 minus L. Okay. Using a verbal model, it says you work with 5 other people at an ice cream stand. All the workers put their tips into a jar and share the amount in the jar equally at the end of the day. Write an expression for each person's share in dollars of the tips. So how many people are you sharing it with? You're sharing it with 5 people. Oh, excuse me, 5 other people. So you're also included. So that's 6. So you take the number of tips, which we could use, you can use T, you could use X. I think the book is using A, and you're going to divide it by 6. Or you write it this way, T divided by 6. You're sharing them equally, so you divide. In a verbal model. And then there's the A divided by 6. Okay? So the guided practice, what if, in example 2, suppose you cut the original ribbon into P pieces of equal length. Write an expression that represents the length in feet of each piece. So now we're cutting in equal pieces. That means you divide it up equally. So however long P is, we're going to take the 8 feet of ribbon we have, and we're going to divide it by however many whatever length it is for those equal number of pieces, 8 divided by P. And there's the key for me, equal lengths, so that's divided out equally. Well, let's go back to that. They say L, but I put 8 because we know that it's from example 2. That's why I used 8. All right? So we go, what if in example 3, suppose that each of the 6 workers contributes an equal amount for an after-work celebration. Write an expression that represents the total amount in dollars that is contributed. Well, you have 6 people. Okay? So you have 6 people giving a certain amount. So you'd have one person would give this many dollars, the next person would give this, and they're giving equal amounts, so D plus D plus D plus D, D standing for dollars. So let's say they all contribute $3 for the after work celebration. Well, there'd be 6 of you contributing $3. It'd be 6 times 3, which would be 18. So since we don't know how much that is, so let's just put 6D, 6 times D, whatever everybody's going to contribute. And then you would know how much money you'd have for your celebration. Okay, example 4, finding a unit rate. A car travels 110 miles in 2 hours. Find the unit rate. Now remember, in the definition, a unit rate means we want it to have a 1, the rate to have a 1 on the bottom. As of right now, we have this, 110 miles in 2 hours. So basically what we want to know is how far will it go in 1 hour. Well, 2 is a pretty easy number. You just cut it in half, or you just go ahead and divide that out. 2 goes into 110, 55. Okay, so you would be going 55 miles per hour as your unit rate for that one. Remember, you want a 1 on the bottom for your unit rate. Just like in my Powerade, I wanted the 1 to find out how much one of them cost me. Okay, so example number 5, cell phones. Your basic monthly charge for your cell phone service is $30, which includes 300 free minutes. So you have to pay 30 no matter what. 30's always, so $30. Plus, you pay a fee for each extra minute you use above, it includes 300, so everything above it. 1 month you paid $3.75 for 15 extra minutes. Find your total bill if you use 22 extra minutes. Well, how much does an extra minute cost? Well, you, right over here, paid $3.75 for 15 extra minutes. How much would that be for 1 extra minute? So we just divide it. 15 into 375. Of course, my pen's not going to work now. 300. Wow. I don't know what the answer is for this. I need to take some lessons on how to work this board, I guess. 375 divided by 15. See, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's just, I can't quite figure it out. I was just hoping I'd get better at it, but it seems to not be getting better. Okay, pretend that's a 15. It goes into 37 twice, which is 30. 75, 15 goes into 75 5 times. So each extra minute costs you 25 cents. Just amazing to me. 25 cents. Okay? Each extra minute is 25 cents. And you are going to talk for so times M, we'll say times M, your book is using M to represent the number of minutes. Aw, sorry. Times M. So that's going to be our expression, no matter how many minutes you use. Our expression, 30 plus 0.25 times M. So our total bill, how much will our bill be if we used 22 extra minutes, so we're going to put 22 in for M. So what is 22 times 1/4? 0, 1, 11, 0, 4, 4. Put in the decimal because it's a quarter. $5.50 extra for your 22 extra minutes, plus 30. Wow. I don't know what the deal is here. Sorry guys, I don't know what I'm doing wrong on this pen. Plus 30, so it would be 35.50. Wow, what a mess that is. Sorry. So let's see what they do. Calculate the unit rate. Let me get rid of what I wrote because it's really not very pretty. Let's see if any of this looks familiar. So it costs 25 cents for 1 minute. We wrote an expression. We substitute in the 22. And we get $35.50. So it agrees. So in the guided practice for number 4, suppose your friends share cell phone service. You pay a basic charge of $35 and $8.80 for 40 extra minutes. Find their total bill if they use 35 extra minutes. So notice this is following the same pattern. So we have our 35 plus, let's figure out what it is. It was $8.80 for 40 extra minutes. So we want to know what it is per minute. So we'll take 40 into 880. 40 goes into 80 twice. It's easy. And then 80 goes in there twice again. So it costs you 22 cents per minute over. So just like the other one. And we're using 35 extra minutes. So we're going to put it in right there. So 22 cents times 35 minutes would be 0.1166. $7.70 plus the 35 would be $42.70. Let's see if that is what they get. Nope, I didn't want to stop. I ran out. Let me see. Let me check in the book. $42.70. The answer's right there. That was it. All right, so that's it for this unit.